Yes, sorry.
As the court pleases, my lord, our one colleague, Mr. Mgomezulu, is not yet here. He called this morning to say that he's stuck in traffic on the R21, and he indicated that he might be here around 10:15. It's 10:10.
Maybe whilst we still are waiting for Mr. Mgomezulu to arrive, there's a request that comes from my client, so that's accused number 3. He is requesting that as it has been the culture with the previous witnesses that each photo or exhibit that has been testified about or on, there's been a culture that such exhibit or photo should then be exhibited on the or should be beamed on the screen for them to be able to follow. He is requesting very respectfully so that with regard to the testimony of this witness as well, that should also be the case, my lord. Thank you, my lord.
So have you discussed it with your colleague?
Yes, we'll try as much as possible, my lord. My
Photos number 10, 11, 12. What photos were those, by the way?
those we've displayed the photos per the identity kit. The only photos that we didn't display are the ones from Exhibit S, the downloads from the cell phone of accused number 3. Those were the...
Exhibit S?
Yes, Exhibit S.
Yeah, let's wait for Mr. Mgomezulu. But the other photos, we must beam them, all of them.
As the court pleases, we'll try that, my lord. Unfortunately, my colleague will only be back on Monday.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. And he'll be conferred with a PhD this morning, my lord.
Oh, great.
Yes. He's actually from today will be Dr. Sibanda.
Okay, congratulations to him.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, we need such expertise in this.
Thank you.
How old is he, if I may know?
Yeah,
About?
Fairly young, my lord. In his 30s, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's the right age.
And it's a great achievement at that age.
Yeah, it is. Okay. By the way, it's UNISA of Pretoria.
It's at UNISA, my lord. It's at UNISA.
UNISA, okay,
Yes.
yeah. UNISA.
Yes. Chancellor, yes, I think so. Yes, I think so.
The Dean of the Faculty of Law?
I'm not sure who the current dean is.
Is it?
I'll find out from Dr. Sibanda when.
And Gandalfinger, what is he? He's just one of the professors there.
It could be, but is it the Gandalfinger, the practitioner?
Yes, Gandalfinger.
Yes,
He
the
told me
attorney,
that.
the divorce lawyer.
Yeah. He's a professor there.
Oh yes.
I started with him 19 71. Why do you say oh?
I mean, that's quite a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, I was admitted, I think, maybe almost the same period with him.
Oh,
And he was specializing in divorce law.
yeah, but I think Dr. Sibanda will be able to tell us all that.
Yeah.
For the sake of the record, we can either adjourn or ask him to stop the recording.
Yeah, that's so that.
So we can stop the recording.
Yeah. Can you phone the gentleman? So that
The registrar is busy phoning.
Hello?
The registrar is busy phoning.
Is it?
Mr. Mtsukula. Can I quickly phone him outside, my lord?
Hello?
Can I phone him outside?
No, you say he's calling.
Yes. But I also wanted to call him.
Oh yeah, you can phone him from the passage there if you want.
Sorry
Yes, sir.
for late coming. I was stuck in the traffic.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Alois, you're still under oath. Brigadier?
Yes, my lord.
Brigadier Gininda, just a few aspects arising from your evidence yesterday. You testify that you were appointed as the lead investigator in this matter.
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt. Have you displayed those photos? Let's do it that first. Otherwise we'll all forget. And you can flight them and mention which photo is that exhibit or photo is that.
These were flighted yesterday, my lord.
That's the identikit.
Yes, the identikit,
Exhibit?
and that's it's exhibit BB.
Exhibit BB,
Yes,
right? Exhibit BB is the identikit.
yes.
Okay.
Then we also showed the photo album, certain photos of the photo album of Lieutenant Colonel Mhlahlo.
Yeah.
I can't remember whether it was photo 1 and 2. I think we showed it's
Are these the
exhibit,
photos
exhibit,
around the perimeter wall of
yes,
the alleged crime scene?
yes.
So that's photo or exhibit number?
It's exhibit D,
Exhibit D.
yes. And there could be photo number 1,
And there's photo number 1 and 2.
yes.
Right.
There was reference made to photos of the pointings out.
Yeah.
which I cannot find. Then Exhibit S. Exhibit S, we refer to one photo. We undertake to display them on Monday, the first day, my lord.
Monday.
Yes, on Monday.
Okay, you mustn't forget then. Is that okay, Mr. Minister?
That will be fine.
Okay, fine. Monday then. For all the exhibits shown during Brigadier's evidence. Okay.
Brigadier, you testified yesterday that you were appointed the lead investigator in this matter. Now, before your appointment as the lead investigator, was there a lead investigator before you?
Ungakaqokwa-ke ukuthi kuyoba wena ohola ithimba labaseshi. Wayekhona yini omunye owayehola leli thimba?
That is correct, my lord, and it was then Brigadier Shibiri. He is now a Major General Shibiri. Major General Shibiri. He's the head of the national head of the organized crime in Pretoria.
Yebo, kwakukhona uBrigadier Shibiri osephakamile wathola isikhundla esiphezulu manje.
As far as you could establish, did he take any of the witnesses' statements in this matter?
Wayeke wathatha itatimende zabanye bofakazi kulolu daba.
His team, my lord. So he was the lead, but I know that some of his members did take statement, and I got that from the briefing because one had to consult with him after this mandate was given to me.
Yebo, ngiyazi ukuthi abanye babo ababesethembeni lakhe bazithatha itatimende ngoba bake sahlala phansi wangicebisa ukuthi udaba luhamba kanjani. Yilapho ke ngathola khona ukuthi abanye bazithathile lezi statement.
And that he was actively involved in the investigation.
Nokuthi ke yena wayenesandla impela ekusesheni.
In fact, my lord, he was the lead investigator, but the coordinator, the person that was assigned to coordinate the investigation was Brigadier Sinono, who is now a Major General in the provincial office of the Hawks in KZN. He was the coordinator of the team. General Shibiri was the lead investigator.
Ukhona ke lo owayehlanganisa konke uBrigadier Sinono so Major General KZN, uBrigadier Shibiri kwakuyena oholayo, lo munye ke uyena ohlanganisayo.
You testified yesterday that Warrant Officer Makubo deposed to the A1 statement in the docket First Lawrence 3751 of 2019.
Yes, my lord. I said, actually, according to the case system, he is registered as the complainant. I was trying to find, to get my hands to the copies of 375, but he is registered as the complainant in that case, my lord.
Yeah, Warrant Makubu, Officer Makubu, what about the statement, the 375 of 1 of 2019, pendulo githi yebo futhi ke uyena ke obonakala uyena ummangali kulolo daba.
You also mentioned the second name that is associated with the docket, the name of Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi. Do you know if she also deposed to an affidavit in docket 3751 of 2019?
Yes, I've seen her affidavit, my lord.
Yebo Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi naye wayibhala i-affidavit and uthi ke umfakazi wayibona.
I just wish to refer you to a proposition that was put to Lieutenant Colonel Mangena by Mr. Ngomezulu during the proceedings of the 28th of August 2020 24. It's on page 18. From line 7, Mr. Mgomezulu, are you aware that Warrant Officer Makubo is investigating the docket 375/1/2019? Are you aware of that? Close quotations. Now, according to this proposition, Warrant Officer Makubo is the investigating officer in Phosphorus 375/1/2019. Now, in the light of your evidence now, is it normal for someone who deposes to an A1 statement that is now the complainant statement to also be an investigator of that case?
So, my lord, no. So, to maintain objectivity, you will try to separate the IO from the investigator. It's a question of objectivity, because then you become, you know, you are the complainant and you also conducting investigation. There are instances where police officers open cases. I've done it myself, but you will do the best that you can that the investigator is not necessarily a complainant, because there will be conflict. You can imagine when the IO collects evidence on his behalf, you know, to sort of support his narrative as the complainant. So it's a practice that is not normal. That's what I would suggest.
Kuthiwa-ke uLieutenant Makubo wayewumseshi kulelu daba lelu ka-375/1/2019 wabuzwa lapha umnisi ukuthi uyakwazi yini lokho ukuthi manje imibuzo lana uthi into ejwayelekile eyenzekayo yini ukuthi umuntu owummangali ecaleni aphinde kube uyena uba umseshi? Athi yebo, amaphoyisa ayakwazi ukuvula amacala, kodwa-ke akukuhle ukuthi-ke umuntu owummangali nanoma eyiphoyisa phinde kube uyena owenza uphenyo kulolu daba alumangale.
You mentioned yesterday that you made copies of the docket in this matter, First Lord's Cast 63610 of 2014, and gave copies thereof to each member of your team. Are you aware if Warrant Officer Makubo ever carried the original docket of 63610 of 2014?
No, my lord, he never carried that docket. When I ordered that copies must be made, I also gave a specific instruction that I will retain the original. So at no stage was the original given to any members, not only Warrant Officer Makubo. They only had copies of the docket 636 of 10/2014.
Nanoma-ke amakopi e-docket le 636 of 10/2014 enziwa, kodwa-ke i-original iyagcinwa ufakazi. Akaze kuvunyelwe Warrant Officer Makubo akwazi ukufinyelela noma ukuba ne-docket i-original yaleli cala lika 636 of 10/2014.
But the copies, my lord, were not made in isolation of them. In other words, it was not a situation where you come and say, here are the copies. They've had access to see the docket original when it was given to us. And then I then gave a directive to say copies will be made, and then so that one can analyze, what they see, and then we can come together to see, to pave the way forward. I do know, for example, my lord, that when copies were made for Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi, it was made in the office. I delegated one of my members who took the original there, and then she made copies herself from her office out of the originals. But the original docket was always retained by me to date, my lord.
Nanoma kwenziwa amakopi enziwa mhlambe u-under njengo-Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi aleli docket, la i-original yayihlala ngazo zonke ikhathi inama izange idluliselwe kwabanye.
Sorry, my lord, just to qualify that, the only time the original would leave my hands is when it was sent to the DPP in Johannesburg first, when we were looking into this matter, and the DPP here in Pretoria. So those were the instances where it will go to the DPP and back to us, and DPP not holding and back to me, my lord.
Athi-ke i-docket lena i-original iyaphuma ezikhathini ezimbili kuphela ezandleni zethu. eyokuqala ukuthi ke yayiswa ku DPP ukuqala yaseke eGoli yaseke futhi ke idluliselwa ku DPP Pretoria kodwa yasebuyela kithi.
And when Brigadier Shibiri, hope this is correct rank, when Brigadier Shibiri was still the lead investigator, do you know if Warrant Officer Makubo carried to the original docket?
No, insofar as so the correct rank, my lord, is Major General Shibiri now. That's his rank. Insofar as I know, Warrant Officer Makubo was not part of that investigation team, my lord.
Engikwazi ukuthi Warrant Officer Makubo akakaze abe omunye wethimba ilungu lethimba elali lenza uphenyo kulolu daba.
And the original docket was under the control of both Brigadier Shibiri, General Shibiri and General Sinono, because when we did the handing over, I had to sign the receiving of what was contained in the docket from them, my lord.
And futhi ke originally niyayiphethwe General Shibiri no General Sinono. Noma ngiyithola mina kubona ngayisayini there.
Now, in cross-examination of Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, Mr. Mngomezulu made the following proposition during the proceedings of 28 August 2024, page 18, regarding Warrant Officer Makubo. And it starts at line 14, Warrant Officer Mngomezulu. I'm sorry, Mr. Mngomezulu. Let me get back into what we, as a version of Warrant Officer Makubo. He said he was called, that is now Warrant Officer Makubo, he said he was called to the scene. Upon his arrival, Cedric Sibia called him and asked him if he observed what has happened here, what could be his opinion. And Warrant Officer Makubo, after he assessed the scene, he told General Sibia then and there that there are no intruders that came there. And just before that, in the first 5 lines of page 18, Mr. Mngomezulu put the proposition to Lieutenant Colonel Mangena. He says, Warrant Officer Makubo was called by General Sibia that night. Upon his arrival, that is now upon the arrival of Warrant Officer Makubo, General Sibia called him aside to assist him to reconstruct the crime scene and certain questions. Now, the first question to you is, what is your comment regarding this proposition that Warrant Officer Makubo would have been called aside whilst on the scene by General Sibia and asked to reconstruct the crime scene?
So, my lord, I can't comment as to whether there was a discussion then between Warrant Officer Makubo and General Sibia on that day. I don't know if they met and what was discussed. What I can refer to is the docket, because it's a guideline in terms of the preliminary analysis that was done on the 26th of October 2014, my lord.
Umbuzo uthi uyazini ukuthi uGeneral Sibia wakwabuzela uWarrant Officer Makubo endaweni esigameko ukuthi kamsize ngokubuyisa umqondo ukuthi kwangabe kwenzekeni lapha endaweni esigameko nokuthi kambuze ke eminye imibuzo athi cha ngikwazi ukuthi ngaphawula nokuthi bahlangana noma khona ingxoxo ababanazo, kodwa ke ngingakuphawula ke mina nje ukuthi kwenzekani ngedocket.
Now, my lord, if you take the docket into account and the facts that I'm going to mention subsequent to this, that proposition is baseless, and I'll indicate why.
I must sibhekisisa idocket kuyabonakala ukuthi hayi lo mqondo lo awunasisekelo.
Now, number one, my lord, when you reconstruct a crime scene, and I'm starting there, you will require expertise, especially in this matter, because we have facts. It's not an assumption. You can look at what happened at this crime scene, the photos that were taken. There is blood, there's projectiles that was found. Logic dictates that you will expect blood splatters experts to be there, ballistic experts to be there, crime scene managers to be there. Those are experts who are qualified in the reconstruction of the crime scene. And that could not have been overlooked if you take into account the senior members of the police who were at this crime scene.
But uma sekuzozama ukuthi kubuyiswe ukuthi kwakwenzekeni kuleyo ndawo kudingeka ukuthi kube nochwepheshe abazobheka indaba yezithombe ngoba sasinabo ubufakazi besingabusebenzisa into njengezithombe negazi nokuthi ke futhi ke inhlamvu lena yahamba kanjani bayadingeka ukuthi kube nochwepheshe lapha njengoba kunaba mkantshubovu lapha emaphoyiseni kuleyo ndawo kwangeke kwenzeke ukuthi ke zonke lezi zinto bakhohle noma bangazenzi ngendlela efanele.
Secondly, my lord, once that is done, in the docket, you would have found a statement from Warrant Officer Makubo indicating, for example, what he has done in the reconstruction of the crime scene. In this docket that we've disclosed to the defense, there is no such statement.
Futhi ke edokethini kuyobe kunestatement esikaMakubo esichazayo ukuthi yena wenzani nani manje sikho ke leso statement edokethini.
Secondly, there is no statement by anyone who was there, my lord, on the 26th of October 2014, indicating that Warrant Officer Makubo was asked to reconstruct any crime scene.
Futhi ke sikho statement esishoyo ukuthi siphuma kunanombani wayekhona kuleyo ndawo esigameke echaza ukuthi Warrant Officer Makubo wacela ukuthi akasize ukubuyisa ukuthi kwangebe kwenzekeni endaweni yokugebengu.
There is further no indication whether from Warrant Officer Makubo or any of the witnesses who were at the crime scene, including neighbors, that says they were interviewed by Warrant Officer Makubo on that day.
Futhi akukho lutho olukhombisa ukuthi Warrant Makubo noma ababekhona omakhelwane lapho ukuthi bacela ukuthi babuzwe imibuzo Warrant Officer Makubo.
Now, my lord, the only crime scene experts that we have in this docket, for the first time on the day of the incident, you will pick up Warrant Officer Musia, who was then subsequently followed by Mutlatho on the following day, and the ballistic experts who came. On the 26th of October 2014, there is no indication, except the local detectives, even them who were present, their statements are there. There is no indication of this assertion that I'm being told about, my lord.
Futhi ke la ngaphakathi kwedocket ama-inspector abonakalayo ochwepheshe abonakalayo kubonakala lapha uWarrant Officer Musia olandelwa umuhlahlo ngelanga elilandelayo akukho khona la kukhombisa ukuthi ngomhla ka-26 kulenyanga ka-October 2014 kwakungekho uchwepheshe wayekhona la.
And based on that, my lord, I see no basis because I'm guided by the docket. As I say, I was not there when this thing happened, but the docket does not tell me that such was done, my lord.
Njengoba mina ngithola konke engikubhekayo edokethini ngithi akukho la ukukhona la edokethini okukholela ukuthi ngicabanga ukuthi lokho okubekiwe ngabe kwenzekile.
Thank you. If we can then get back to where we stopped yesterday afternoon, we were about to deal with Exhibit FF. That is the confession made by accused number 1 to Colonel Mboto, which you have referred to.
Yes, my lord.
Now, the version of accused number 1 that was put to the witnesses is in essence that what is stated in this document does not come from accused number one. In other words, they're saying that accused number one is not the source of what is contained in this document, that accused number one was approached with these documents already completed. Now, what is your comment, given the contents of the document?
Manje mase sikhuluma ke ukuthi ke umsolo oqala wavuma icala ku Mbotho. Obekwa umsolo uqala uthi yena the confession lena noma wamukela icala lokho kukhona lapha kuphumi kuyena uthi ke le document le ephetheke ukwamukela icala yafika kuyena isibhaliwe. Thini ngalokho?
My Lord, that cannot be true, and I'm basing that on the details that are in this confession that could only have been known by accused number one. I did not even know the details that are contained here, and I can deal with them as we go along.
Manje mina ke ngigxile kakhulu noma ngicike kakhulu ekutheni lokhu okukhishiwe lana kukhishwe imininingwane eminingi ebingaziwa kuphela umsolo uqala. So lokho ukuthi statement lesasiphuma kuyena ngeke ukwazi ukuba iqiniso ngoba eminingi lemininingwane kwasamina bengeke ngiyazi ngangayazi.
The first point of departure, my Lord, is that at the time when accused number one was approached, the only evidence that we had in the form of a sworn affidavit was the statement from Absolute Zungu, and that statement implicated him and accused number two.
Oqala ke ukuthi lana ke umsolo oqala istatement esasinaso esokuthi wabzolo Mzulu wena wakhomba yena nomsolo wesibili.
But in his confession, my Lord, he then introduces Marco Buthelezi and Qiniselani as the co-perpetrators who were present. We did not know those names, so they could not have come up from anywhere except from him, because this was also followed up, my Lord.
Uthi ke manje uyana wakhipha igama lika Marco Buthelezi noQiniselani besingeke swazi lamagama umba ebengaveli kuyena wathi besingasilutho ngalamagama.
Yes, my Lord, that is a point of departure.
Yes, where do we see those names?
So if you go to paragraph 1 of the annex, in other words, the statement, my Lord, after the pro forma, it reads as follows: that on that week, in that year, during the week, it was on Wednesday, I was at my place at the hostel in Basutu section, and I received a call from my friends Marco Buthelezi and Makimba Buthelezi. Both were staying at Basutu's hostel, but Zulu section. The person who was calling me was Marco, but I heard on the background that he was with Makimba. I told him that I am present, and he said he is coming with Makimba. So this is the version, my Lord, that he continues to keep up to the time to give, up to the time that he alleges that they went to kill the deceased in this matter. We followed this version, my Lord, and found that this was not correct, because these two people were in prison from 2013 up to 2016.
I've lost some of the details. Manje uthi lana ke ngalelo sonto lelo kulowo nyaka phakathi neviki ngokungu lesithathu ngangisendaweni yase hostel endaweni yaseBasutu section ngingathola ke ucingo elivela kubangani bami uMarco Buthelezi noMakimba Buthelezi bobabili ke babehlala Pistorius Hostel kodwa kule ngxenye ke ehlala amaZulu. Umuntu ko ayengithintayo ngocingo kokumakho kodwa ngezwe ukuthi kukhona aye naye lapho kunokuthi aye noMakhimba. Ngase ngimtshela ukuthi mina ngikhona and futhi ke yena uzoza mina noMakhimba.
Now, my lord, Makhimba is also Qiniselani Buthelezi because we managed to get to him and a statement from him was obtained with regards to this, as one was trying to corroborate this confession, my lord.
Manje kuMakhimba yena uyani uqinisana noMthelezi sakwazi ukumthola na statement sakhe.
And where did you find him?
I found him at Kalagabushe prison, my lord, in KZN. That's where he was incarcerated.
Ngamthola ejele laseKalagabushe KZN ila evalelwe khona.
And the records, my lord, confirm that he was indeed in detention from 2013 together with his brother, Marco, and they were released briefly in 2016 where he was then arrested again. This is Qiniselani. And thereafter, Marco was then killed, I think around 2019. We also obtained his death certificate. Was shot and killed.
Just a minute, just
my apologies.
give the interpreter a chance to
Yes,
interpret.
my apologies.
Sakwazi ukuthi esithole khona lapha ejele ukuthi ke babe sejele ukusola ngo2013 ukuze bayophinde bayophuma ngo2016 lapho aphinda khona ke waboshwa uqiniselana sathola ke nokuthi umakho yena wagcina eshonile.
And my lord, in the description of accused one now in this confession, he described one of this individual as having the dreadlocks and being the one carrying the firearm. In other words, to give this description that in our view, based on our investigation, it's accused number 3, but he just changes the name to try and mislead us because the facts that he referred to are aligned with this matter.
Manje ke lana umsolo oqala ke wazama ukuchaza lo omunye njengo wayena dreadlocks yazi ukuthi lapho ke wayechaza ke ngoba umsolo wesithathu wayena dreadlocks kodwa ke amagama angewona ngoba wayezama ukusilahlekisa.
Furthermore, my lord, it does make mention on this confession that he was informed that when the perpetrators went inside their house, they demanded cell phone and money. It's contained in his confession. Now, this is in line with what the witnesses inside the house are saying, that the perpetrators demanded cell phone and money. He told this to Colonel Mboto and Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
Watshela uKolonel Mboto no Hadebe ukuthi ke laba abangena lapha endaweni bafike bacela cell phone bafuna nemali ngoba ke kuyaziwa ukuthi ke labo abangena lapha endlini bafika nabo bafika benza lokho bafika bacela cell phone nemali.
My lord, furthermore, on this confession, he does make mention of a white polo that he says was used. The evidence that we have is that it was a silver polo, so he was close describing the right car, but a different color, a gray color. I mean, a gray polo, my lord.
Siyazi ke futhi ukuthi wathi echaza wathi imoto yasetshenziswa lapho is polo emhlophe. Siyazi ukuthi umbala wale polo wawuyisilver. Kusho ukuthi wachaza imoto kahle kodwa ke nje wathi ukuphuma kancane ngombala.
And that silver, that gray polo, my lord, insofar as our investigation is concerned, is associated with accused number 5. Insofar as that vehicle was concerned, that is a vehicle that was used during the commission of this offense.
Futhi ke leyo polo le khulunywa silver Volvo esikwazi ukuthi sorry iPolo sorry not iVolvo eyaqhunyaniswa nomsolo wesihlanu wasiyazi ukuthi iyona moto eyasetshenziswa kulobu gebengu.
And it was driven by accused number 5.
Futhi ke leyo moto ke ishayelelwa umsolo wesihlanu.
And how are you able to establish that it is associated with accused number 5?
My lord, what we did as obviously I'm moving away now, when we were now looking at accused number 5, we audited his ID number to try and establish vehicles that are associated with him.
uma sesihlola umsikolo wesihlanu sathatha ke inamba ke kamazisa wakhe ukuhlola ukuthi iziphi imoto ezikwazi ukuthi ziqhunyaniswe naye.
Through the assistance of the traffic department, I think Mr. Matlowo Chupi assisted us, my lord, in linking accused number 5 with this grey VW Polo. Although the date was different, but it was associated with it at a specific day that he was given an infringement using that particular vehicle, a grey silver, a grey VW Polo.
Tonight sathi kuma sizama ukulandelela umkhondo sathola uMatlowo wakwa traffic wasiza ukuthi sikwazi ukubona ukuthi imoto ke i-VW Polo e-grey iyakwazi ukuthi iqhunyaniswe nomsolo wesihlanu.
But in addition, my lord, there are statements. I think Sizwe Zungu also gave a statement to that effect, my lord. So there are witness statements. I'm not so sure whether I will still call others, but who indicates that accused 5 was driving a grey VW Polo, silver or grey VW Polo, on the day of the incident.
Okunye futhi ukuthi uSizwe Zungu wasitshela estatementini sakhe ukuthi umsolo wesihlanu wayeshayela yona le moto e-VW Polo e-grey.
I just want to, is it correct that Mr. Matlowo testified in this matter?
That is correct, my lord.
But uMse Matlowo naye wezoletha ubufakazi kulolu daba.
I just want to show you his affidavit, which was ended up as exhibit AAA in brackets 1. And in particular, paragraph H of his affidavit that appears on page 5. If I can ask you to read the contents of that paragraph in the report.
Which paragraph? The top paragraph?
Paragraph H.
Paragraph H. Okay, Natis records indicate that Mr. Fisoku Ntuli, ID 8601105612086, was issued with infringement handwritten notice number 1-0011-016 by Traffic Officer MJ Stoffy, Officer's Infrastructure Number 49512K9R, attached to JMPD Issuing Authority. The particulars of the infringement are shown below.
Kuthiwa ke lana ke umshenekelo wenathisi uyakhombisa ukuthi uFisokuhle Ntuli ne-ID ka-860110 561286 wathola ithikithi eli-notice 010-01-016468990-0 enikwa iphoyisa ke uStofile lalingaphansi kwe-JMPD.
Yes, the particulars.
Last one, then infringement notice.
Yes, it says infringement and motor vehicle particulars. Should I?
Yes, yes, you may proceed.
Yes, that it was issued to Ntuli F, and the cell phone number, my lord, it's 073. I think it's 30592. Yeah. It's a small writing, my lord, so the court will bear with me. But it refers to a Volkswagen vehicle, and then the color is white. The date is 2016 0209, my lord, if I can see correctly.
And the area?
The area, it says Johannesburg. Location and date of the infringement, my lord, it says Johannesburg in Gauteng, my lord.
Lana ichaza ukuthi ke ithikithi leli walithola ngayiphi mothola ukuthi ke igama liyavela ukuthi uNtuli lona wathola leli thikithi kubekwe ne phone number yakhe kuyasho ukuthi ayahamba ngeVW enombala omhlophe ngomhla 9 kuFebruary 2016 endaweni yase Johannesburg.
Is there any other infringement notice? If you can go to the next paragraph.
Yes, my lord. So on paragraph K, it reads as follows that the National Traffic System notice records further indicate that an infringement number 01-0011-0168163848 was issued to Mr. Fisokuhle Ntuli, ID number 860110561286 by traffic officer identified as M.A. Mudisane, officer's infrastructure number 49512HB9, attached to JMPD issuing authority on the date in question. The full particulars of the infringement are shown below on page 7 to 22.
Uthola lapha lathi siyakhombisa lapha ukuthi uFisokuhle Ntuli on ID ka 880110581286 wathola ithikithi elinikwa traffic officer uMA Mudisane osebenzela iJMPD.
Now, my lord, on the next page, the particulars of the infringements were issued to F. Ntuli, and it indicates that the vehicle is a VW Polo. It indicates that the color is gray, and the date is 2016-03-20 that I see, my lord. And the location, rather the place where this was issued, it says City or Town, Johannesburg, suburb Johannesburg, and the street name is Klein Street.
Uthola lapha ichaza imininingwane yaleli ithikithi alithola ukuthi lanikwa weF Ntuli owahamba ngeVW Polo eGrey ngomhla ka 20 kuMarch 2016 edolobheni lase Johannesburg emgwaqweni okuthiwa uClaim Street.
Any other particulars of the infringer as per the infringement notice?
No, my lord, because the next paragraph deals with the ownership of this Polo, my lord.
It's by the ID number, the cell phone number?
Yes. So the cell phone number that I see, my lord, is 07330592. I think it's 02, my lord, the cell phone number.
Cell phone yevela lapho u 0733059202.
The ID number, my lord, it's very small. I can't really. I can see that it's 86011 Yeah, no. The last digit, my lord, is 2086. The ones in the middle are a bit smallly written, my lord.
In any case, it's already on record.
Objection, my lord. My lord, this exhibit was the witness who compiled this statement or this statement, this report, had already testified in this court, my lord. We all have this exhibit that the witness is repeating, and it is irrelevant because all those infringements were in 2016. We are here talking about the incident that took place in 2014. Therefore, I object, my lord, on the basis of irrelevancy and reputation, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Maloyi.
Well, regarding the second aspect of relevance, I submit with the greatest respect that the evidence is relevant. The witness mentioned the fact that in the confession of accused number 1, reference is made to a VW Polo, and Mr. Matlo also refers to the fact that an infringement notice was issued in the name of accused number 5. Even if it was some 2 years later, the state will argue at the end of the day that this is strong circumstantial evidence. It is therefore relevant. As far as repetition is concerned, context must be given to the evidence. That's why the witness is referring to the affidavit of Mr. Matlo. So we submit that on both scores, my lord, that this evidence ought to be allowed.
Yeah, the evidence is allowed on the basis of relevance.
As a court, please. In any case, we are done with the affidavit of Mr. Matlo.
Yes.
Just before we take the normal short adjournment, my lord, we have referred to the version of accused number 1. We just want to place on record that this version is seen on the record of 11 October 2023, page 16, line 5 to 7 and 8 to 15. Where then counsel for accused number 1, Mr. Ramasipele, said the following: my lord, let me clarify from my perspective. My instructions are that he never made a statement. He also denied that he made any admission or pointing out. He never made a statement. The making of the statement needs to be clarified because he says the statement was brought to him.
Yes.
Can we then take the normal short adjournment at this stage?
Okay. 15 minutes.
docket the crime scene in relation to what the person is confessing to. It's not a rehearsing. It's simply to say, this makes sense to this. That is all, my lord.
Ngizama ukuchaza ukuthi-ke siveze bonke lobufakazi kodwa ukuzama ukuchaza ukuthi ubufakazi lobu buyahambisana ngoba angeke kusho ukuthi umuntu ume khona kukhomba KZN ebese uthi-ke lokho kulungile nanokuthi uma ekhona kukhomba eGoli yebo nalokho kuvele kwamukelwe kanjalo kodwa banochaza ukuthi lo bufakazi lobu buhlangana kanjani and futhi busebenzisana kanjani.
And it is also in the interest of justice, my lord, because in the process of collaboration, if the suspect or the accused is not aware of the crime scene, you will pick that up because he will refer to scenes that have nothing to do with your case docket. He will mention things that are irrelevant. So it is in the interest of justice on both sides, my lord.
Kuyadingeka ukuthi ngizama ukuletha ubulungiswa ukuthi ubheke ukuthi uthini umsolo ngoba kwesinye isikhathi angachaza indawo ekungezona ubuse uyabona ukuthi cha kusho ukuthi akayazi le ndaba leyakhuluma ngayo. So kufanele ubheke ukuthi umefaka eletha ubufakazi uzama ukuchaza izinto ezinjani ukuze kubonakale ukuthi lena iyangena ngempela kusho ukuthi khona ukuhambelana.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I'm going to object, and I'm raising an objection. Investigating officers, their primary function is to investigate a case and bring objective evidence before court. It is for the court to analyze that evidence. What this witness is now doing is embarking on a process of analyzing evidence, which that should be left for the court after the court has been after the court is seized with that objective evidence that came from the investigating officer. It is not their duty to assist the court on how to analyze that evidence. They are taking over what the court is supposed to be doing. We are expecting Mr. Kininda to say, in the course of our investigation, this is what we found. This is what we found. This is what we found. This which we found is how it connects accused number 1. This is how it connects accused number 2. This is how it connects accused number 3, 4, 5, etc. It is not for him to come and opine as to how the evidence that they found is relevant with the connection of each of the accused person. It's basically usurping the duty that the court should embark upon after having had all the evidence at the end of the case, my lord. I'm strongly objecting to the process that this witness is embarking upon.
I don't know if counsel is saying he's objecting against the process, is he objecting against what he's just said, or trying to link the confession of accused number 1 to the objective facts in this matter. But be that as it may, my lord, what the witness is merely trying to explain is what he explained yesterday. He says there appears to be a misunderstanding, so he's just merely rehashing the explanation that he gave yesterday when Advocate Nisi was objecting. That's all that he's doing, my lord.
Mr. Genina, just repeat what you just said so that we all understand it.
My lord, I said the collaboration of the confession is not the rehearsing of evidence. When a confession is made, my lord, you need to collaborate those facts, and that is in the interest of justice in my view. Because let's assume, my lord, where great injustice can be done, a person makes a confession but he points a different sin. And then because he made a confession, you just take it and file it. You don't collaborate as to whether the sin that is being pointed, is it relevant to the matter that you're investigating. You have to collaborate it to find credence, to find evidence and proof. And that is exactly what I'm referring to. It's not a rehearsal of what Colonel Mboto wrote, what Lieutenant Colonel Daparo wrote, and the magistrate. Is to say, after I received this confession, because yes, as Mr. Minister rightfully says, I'm the investigating officer, I have a duty to investigate. And I'm presenting the facts that I found when I compare what was contained on the confession statement in relation to the docket. That's exactly what I'm representing to the court. Because if I keep that is why would I not tell the court to say, when I read the confession that is made by accused number 1, I found these facts, and these facts collaborate with the docket and the crime scene. That is all that I'm saying, my lord. I'm not making a judgment call as to how the court must find the evidence or what it did. I'm simply referring at the duty and the role I did when I received the statement and in trying to collaborate it. That's what I'm saying, my lord.
May I respond and make an example of what is
my duties.
Excuse me, my lord.
I say, he says it's not usurping my duties, it's collaborating.
It definitely does that, my lord. And may I make an example so that as we go forward, my lord, then we are clear on the process that we're supposed to be embarking upon. He testified yesterday, I think, and referred to Mr. Mube, and said that some witnesses in the house, they got information, or also in the statement that he went through, that is contained in the confession, one make of the statement speaks about a person who had dreadlocks. And in his view, he specifically said that, and in his view, that person is accused number 3. Should that not be actually be left in the domain of the court? We're not interested in his views. All that we're interested in are facts that he has collected, evidence, my lord. It could be direct evidence, it could be circumstantial evidence, or what other form of evidence, but we are only interested in the evidence that is bringing before court. We're not interested in his views. That is why I'm saying, my lord, he's basically usurping the function that it should be seized with the court. It's basically saying to the court, this is how the court's judgment must be penned. He's penning his own judgment, my lord. I don't know for what, because he's just an investigating officer. He's only here to assist the court with facts and nothing else but facts. Thank you, my lord.
Please, my lord. Yesterday we looked at section 209, which we read in the record, and what this witness is merely saying is contained in section 209. That is the first thing, but all that the witness regarding the fact that in his view, when reference is made to a person with dreadlocks, it's accused number 3, all that he's saying is that the evidence establishes that the person who had dreadlocks is accused number 3. And we refer to the relevant photo, which is not disputed, that shows that accused number 3 had dreadlocks. That's all that the witness is doing. And secondly, we indicated, my lord, in the beginning that the version of accused number 1 is that he is not the source of this confession. Now, all that the exercise that this witness is embarked upon is to indicate that accused number 1 is the only person who could have been the source of what is contained in this document. This the exercise that Brigadier Gininda is busy with.
Yeah, this court is experienced enough to sift evidence from witnesses and judge the evidence on the facts as Mr. Nisi suggests. Now you see this case, here's an investigating officer. He says, amongst the people who were inside the house, the evidence is clear. It was only supposed, and I'm not making any finding. It was supposedly a person with dreadlocks. There were no 6 guys with dreadlocks or 10 guys with dreadlocks. And then he makes a conclusion that it must have been accused number what. I'm not bound by what he says, I'm bound by the facts. Maybe there were 20 guys with dreadlocks, I don't know.
I'm indebted to the court, my lord. Now that the court has said that, the court is trained enough to separate wheat from the chaff, my lord. Thank you, my lord. Thank you.
As a good please, my lord, you've indicated in your evidence just before the short adjournment that Mr. Senzo Zungu also gave a statement to the effect that accused number 5 was driving a grey VW on the day of the incident. Can I refer you to the record of the proceedings on the 7th of September 2023, page 9,
Yes, my lord.
and from line 16 to 20?
Yes, indeed, my lord. So it reads as follows, my lord. Mr. Baloyi, did you see what vehicle accused 5 was driving on that day? Mr. Zungu, yes, I did. Mr. Baloyi, yes. What type of vehicle was he driving? Mr. Zungu, it was a gray Polo hatchback.
Uthi lena-ke ukubuza-ke umshushisi uBaloyi uthi wayibona yini imoto eyayishayelwa umsolo wesihlanu ngalelo langa. uZungu yaphendula uthi yebo. Uyabuza-ke futhi uBaloyi uthi yebo kwakuyinhlobo nemoto ayishayela. Uyaphendula-ke uZungu ukuthi kwakuyipolo egrey eyi-hatchback.
Okay, we can then get back to exhibit double F, the confession of accused number 1.
Yes, my lord.
You're busy analyzing, you can proceed. If perhaps you can have a look at page 1 of that statement. It refers to a date on 2014 between September and October. What is your comment regarding that?
Yes, indeed, my lord. So this date, my lord, the month in particular, refers to the period when this incident took place. More or less, this one took place in October, the 26th of October 2014. And accused number 1 says on 2014 between September and October, so it's close. So this is a collaboration that was referring to this particular matter.
Manje le nyanga le ebonakalayo uSeptember inyanga evezwe umsolo wokuqala okusho ukuthi ke ngaleso sikhathi ke okwenzeka ngayo isigameko kwenzeka ngomhla 26 October kusho ukuthi ke yiso lesi sikhathi lesi sokwenzeka kwalobu bugebengu lobu.
Furthermore, my lord, in the collaboration where he makes mention of the name Senzo Meyiwa, around that period of October 2014, my lord, the only Senzo Meyiwa that was shot and killed in Fosoras is the deceased. It's the matter that we are dealing with, my lord.
Futhi kokunye ukuthi ke leli gama lelaliveza lika Senzo Meyiwa ilona gama kuphela lika Senzo Meyiwa owayedutshulwe ngaso leso sikhathi.
In other words, my lord, I'm saying there are no different deceased with similar name and surname that were killed under these circumstances in that area in the month of October or September 2014. It's only this deceased. So an inference can be drawn that he was referring to this particular matter.
Manje ke futhi okunye ukuthi ke akekho omunye uSenzo Meyiwa owadutshula owabula kulesi simo kuleyo ndawo ngaleyo nyanga okusho ukuthi ke ngeke kwenzeke ukuthi mhlambe kungaba khona omunye owayengaba ekhuluma ngayo kusho ukuthi vele ukhuluma ngaye lo okuleli icala.
Yes, ma'am.
That's another objection, my lord. This witness simply refers to an inference. Who is seized with that functionary of drawing inferences? It is not him, because that is not a fact. What he's presenting now, he says an inference can be drawn that it was. Now, I'm not even so sure whether he's aware of R versus Blom on the drawing of inferences. So he can't just stand there boldly and say an inference can be drawn that it is him. It is for this court, my lord, to deal with the question of inferences after the state has requested that the court should draw a particular inference, not a witness who is an investigating officer. him is to bring facts before court, not to tell this court that it should draw inferences. This is highly irregular. Thank you.
As a court case, I think the court has already commented just a short while ago that the court is trained to separate opinion and inferential reasoning. I think all that the witnesses say, my lord, is that the name of Mr. Senzo Meyiwa is being mentioned here, which is what this case is all about. But I'll request the witness to refrain from making any inferences and just give facts. Yes.
My lord, I've noted, but I think Mr. Mnisi is really quoting me out of context, and I left it the first time, but I see now he's continuing. First, he said, I gave an opinion or something to that effect that no one in the house, like it was my view, that accused number 3 was the one with the dreadlocks. He didn't refer as to under what circumstances.
This is the court, my lord. Mr. Baloyi is a prosecutor, he is a witness.
Saying what he wants to say.
Oh, thank you.
He said, I don't allow people to talk in this court.
No, but what I'm saying, my lord, is under the guidance of the prosecutor. He just can't just do things willy-nilly, my lord, like a wanton sheep, as it is in the court.
However, my lord, if I may just ask my lord leave to make just a few submissions, my lord. If there is an objection, my lord, between counsels, the objection is between the parties, the defense and the state, and the ruling will be from the court. The witness is not allowed to get inside and give explanation unless it's invited by the court to do such, my lord. Thank you.
Yeah, let's finish what you were saying, Mr. Brigadier.
Yes, my lord. So I was saying, my lord, that is out of context because the facts of the matter contained in this docket, and these are the facts, they point that the person with the dreadlocks who went inside that house is accused number 3, Mr. Mnisi's client. There are statements in this docket. So to say I'm making whether an assumption or an opinion is selective in that, and I don't think it's in the interest of justice, my lord, with greatest respect to him, because he's sitting with the facts that points in terms of the statements. Mr. Zungu, Sizwe Zungu, I mean, it was before this court, I was not here, but the statement indicates what he knows. The firearm that was used as a murder weapon is linked to accused number 3.
He's objecting, my lord. That is totally irrelevant. That is totally irrelevant for this moment. How does it say that the firearm is linked to accused number 3 when that aspect is being investigated? No, that is totally irrelevant, my lord. And this witness, my lord, is going to tell us long he is being disrespectful to this court because they can only speak to the court through the prosecutor. What he's doing here is total disrespect of this August House, man. And I'm going to request the court to tell him to refrain from doing that. Because now he's saying the firearm in question here is linked to accused number 3. Where does he get that from? Where does he get that from? Because that aspect is still being investigated. It's total disrespect.
We'll get to those aspects, Brigadier. Lord, if I can then ask that we return to Exhibit FF.
Yes, my lord.
Paragraph 1. It's mentioned that on that week, in that year, during the week, it was on Wednesday, I was at my place at hostel in Foslores at Basutu section.
Yes, my lord.
Was this fact known to the police in this address?
No, it wasn't, my lord.
Manje kuyakusho lapho ukuthi ngangise ngalelo viki ngolesithathu ngangise hostel manje uyabuzwa ukuthi amaphoyisa ayekwazi indoko cha engakwazi.
Is it correct that the bank statements of accused number 1 have since been obtained and serve as an exhibit before the court?
That is correct, my lord.
Athi yabo itatimende zasebhenki zikamsolo wokuqala zatholakala futhi zibekiwe phambi kwenkantolo.
I just want to show you exhibit triple E in brackets 5. These are the bank statements from Nedbank. Can you just place on record in whose name the bank statements are?
The bank statement, my lord, are from Nedbank. And on top it says that for Mr. Muzuka Ukulelwa, Stemba Sibia, of 43 Sutu Hostel, Botha Avenue, Fosloras South, Reslo. Then the code is 1473, my lord.
Thank you.
1473.
Ya lapho kuyabonakala ukuthi lesi statement lesi istatement esikaMuzuka Ukhalelwa Stemba Sibiya and ikheli lakhe ke number 43 Sutu Hostel Botha Drive Foslora South.
Thank you. In paragraph 3 of the statement,
Yes, ma'am.
and perhaps maybe to be more precise, paragraph 4 of the statement, he refers to the fact that they drove to the traditional healer, Nkulu. Yesterday, you did comment on this version, is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Athi yebo ngikhulumile ngalo mkhulu.
You can perhaps just put that on record, paragraph 4 and 5.
Yes, my lord. It says sometimes, paragraph 4, sometime we drove to the traditional healer, Mkulu. We used to call him, and he is from Swaziland. This is the traditional healer we used to go to before we committed a crime. I suppose I wanted to say committing a crime. He is from Swaziland, paragraph 5. The Inyanga stays at Katlohong at Palmridge, and we entered there, 3 of us. Marco is the one who explained to the traditional healer Mkulu that we want to check if we are going to succeed in doing this job. He further mentioned to Mkulu that we are going to kill Senzo Meyiwa, and we were bought or hired by Kelly Kumalo, who was the girlfriend to Senzo Meyiwa.
Thank you.
Uthi ke lana sijwayele ngesisikhathi ke sasike siye enyangeni sabizwa ukuthi umkhulu sasimshayela ucingo ngoba uvela eSwazini. Kusho ukuthi lena yile nyanga lena esasiya kuyona singakenzi ubugebengu ukuthi siyoyi le nyanga lena yayivela eSwaziland. Le nyanga ihlale eKatlehong ePalmridge. Sathi kuma singena lapho sangena sibathathu. Umakho uyena ke owachaza kule nyanga lena umkhulu ukuthi sifuna ukuzohlola ukuthi uma ke la esiyakhona sizophumelela yini ngalomsebenzi siyowenza. Futhi waqhubeka wachaza kumkhulu ukuthi siyobulala uSenzo Meyiwa futhi ke sesiqashwe uKelly Kumalo owaye ulo girlfriend kaSenzo Meyiwa.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Paragraph 6.
Paragraph 6 read as follows, my lord. Marco told us that Kelly want money from Senzo, but he never told Mkulu that. Mkulu, traditional healer, checked for us and said we are going to succeed to kill the said person, and he also gave us protection medicine and beads to put on our arms or at our waist. which was going to make us to succeed in killing him and to protect us from any danger. We paid Mkulu 50 rand for checking our job.
Umakho wasitshela ukuthi uPheni wayefuna imali kuSenzo kodwa akazange amtshele umakho umkhulu lokho. Umkhulu oyinyanga wasihlolela wasesitshela ukuthi ke sizophumelela ekubulaleni lo muntu esifuna ukuyombulala and futhi wasinika ke ukukusivikela umuntu okusivikela esawugcobe ezandleni nasokhalweni okuyosenza ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi phumelela ekumbulaleni nokuthi ke kusivikele kunanoma yiphi ingozi. Umkhulu ke sasisimkhokhela u50 rand ukuthi asihlolele umsebenzi wethu.
Yesterday, you referred to the evidence of Mr. Lana Zwane. Were all these facts that are mentioned in these paragraphs that you've placed on records, were they known to you or any member of the investigating team?
No, they were not known, my lord.
Hayi sengingakwazi lokho.
Brigadier Gininda, just in brief, without going through every sentence in the confession, the facts that are stated in this confession, exhibit FF, were they known to you or any member of the team?
No, my lord, they were not known to us, my lord. In fact, my lord, as I said, what we heard at the time is that he was one of the shooters. We did not know that he was standing outside. These facts came from him. What I heard in terms of the affidavit that was disposed by Mr. Absalom Zongo is that him and accused two were the perpetrators, and that was in line with the docket. So in our understanding at the time is that he was one of the perpetrators. He gave a different submission as per this document, my lord. We didn't know this.
Sasingakwazi lokho esakuthola ku-Absalom Zongo ukuthi yena nomsolisi bili babe abanye bezelelisi ukuthi ke yena wayemi ngaphandle sasingakwazi konke lokho esasikwazi nje ukuthi lokho esikunikwe u-Absalom Mthethwa.
My lord, we just request that the reference to what was said by Absalom Zungu be left out of account.
Reference to what was said by?
Reference as to what would have been mentioned by Absalom Zungu be left out of account, as he hasn't been called as a witness. Is it correct to say that you were? Yes.
He's made a statement as a witness. Mr. Zwane, is that Zwane?
No, Mr. Absalom Zungu.
Oh, Zungu,
Yes.
Absalom.
Yes,
Oh, is that the father to
yes.
the police guy?
Yes,
Yeah, but did he make a statement?
yes, he did make a statement.
Yeah, fine. Ma.
Yes,
I'll disallow
So-
it. But do you know the case of Dipoko?
yes,
You know that case? Talks about hearsay evidence.
yes.
It's an SCA case, 2000 and I think 2009 by Unterhalter. It's related to Modimu, etc., etc. Just read that case. What it says about a report which is made to a person by a witness. Okay, fine. We heard you.
There's also the Hearsay Act, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were working on the information that you had at your disposal.
Indeed, my lord.
Yeah, but you say I must exclude that. I'm excluded because you see
Yes, yes. Yes, I think there's a duty on the state not to let hearsay evidence.
Yeah, fine, fine.
Yes, thank you. And we're not going to refer in detail to as mentioned, to everything that was said, but if you can just put the contents of paragraph 10 on record. Or maybe starting from paragraph 9.
Okay, my lord. So it reads as follows. After dropping the call, he told us that Kelly is calling and want to know if we are coming. Then we alighted at the corner and we walked on foot to the house. And the firearm was with Marco. And he asked who was going to enter the house. We decide that we can make as if we are committing a robbery, and the firearm was one and it was at Marco's possession. Marco asked who was going to get in, and I told them, no, me. I am going to stand outside and watch if there is somebody who come in and disturb us, and must quickly report. Marco and Makimbi got into the house, and Marco was the one who was in possession of the firearm. That's the end of paragraph 10.
Emva kokuthi ke ngivaleke lolo cingo emva kokuthi avale lolo cingo wasesitshela ukuthi uKelly umshayeli wocingo ufuna ukwazi ukuthi siyeza yini, and emva kwaloko ke sasesiphuma emotweni and sasesihamba ngenyawo ukuya endlini, and futhi ke isibhamu sasiphethe uMarco, and wayesesibuza ukuthi ubani ozongena endlini. Sasesike sikhuluma ukuthi ke sizokwenza sengathi sizogebenga, and futhi isibhamu sasisodwa and siphethe uMarco. uMarco kwasebuza ukuthi ubani ozongena, and ngase ngimtshela ukuthi mina ngizobe ngime ngaphandle, ukuthi ngiqaphele le ngaphandle ukuthi akekho yini ozoza azosithikameza, bese ke ngishesha ke ngiyabika ukuthi ukhona yini. uMarco ke noMakimba basibengene endlini, and uMarco ke uyena owayephethe isibhamu.
Now, were these facts known to the investigating team?
Lokhu kwakwaziwa yini yithimba eliphenyayo?
No, my lord. As I said, the information contained in the docket only referred to accused 1 and 2. This was not known to us.
Cha, lonke ulwazi lolu lwakhona kudocument lwalukhuluma ngomsolo wokuqala nowesibili. Kwakungaziwa konke lokhu kuthini
At that stage, my lord.
ngaleso sikhathi.
And the fact that reference is made to the fact that one of the assailants had a firearm, what is your comment?
Thini ukuthi ke kuthiwe omunye ke wazenzelelesi wayephethe isibhamu.
My lord, this corroborates the statements of the witness who were inside the house, who says the first suspect with dreadlocks had a firearm.
Lokho kuhambisana nofakazi obulethwe yilabo ababengaphakathi endlini ukuthi ke lo owayenama-dreadlock uyena owayephethe isibhamu.
And what is your comment regarding the fact that mention is meant of the fact that two assailants entered the house?
My lord, that is also it also corroborates the statements of the people who were inside the house, because they described 2 suspects, one short, one tall, my lord.
Yebo futhi lokho kuhambisana nalabo ababengaphakathi endlini abasinufazi bokuthi babe babili abangena omude nomfishane.
It's paragraph 11.
Paragraph 11, my lord, they entered and closed the door and demanded cell phones. According to them, they said they found 3 people in the house. That was Meyiwa and the 2 girls in the dining room. One of those 2 girls was Kelly, They said Meyiwa refused with the cell phone, and he stood up and grabbed each other with Marco. I'm reading as it's written here, my lord. Marco took out the firearm and shot at him. Kelly ran to the bathroom and came back while still pushing each other. And the sound of the firearm came out as a result of Kelly ran back to the bedroom, and the shots came 2 times again. And they came out running, and we ran into the car which was parked at the corner of the street. We drove to the hostel, and they said they never took anything, cell phone or money.
Bangena base bevala isitapha base becela ama cell phone ngaloko abakusho ke bathi bathola abantu abathathu besendlini kusho ukuthi lona uMeyiwa namantombazana amabili edining room engeke lamantombazana kwakukheli bathi ke uMeyiwa wala ukubanika umakhalekhukhwini wakhe wama wazama ke ukubamba uMarco wakhipha isibhamu wasemdubula uKelly wagijima wabalekela ebedroom wasebuya besa ngaleso sikhathi besabambene besaphushana umsindo ke wesibhamu wazwakala futhi and emva kwalokho uKelly wasebalekela futhi ebalekele bedroom and kusho ukuthi ke isibhamu sisakhala futhi kabili and base bephuma futhi begijima and thina sasibalekela emotweni eyaseyipakwe ngasekhoneni lomgwaqo saseke sihamba ngale moto siya ehostel bathi ke abazange bathathe lutho kwa cellphone kwamali.
What is your comment regarding what is contained in paragraph 11, especially the first sentence where it's written they entered and closed the door and demanded cell phones?
My lord, it accords with what is contained in the witness statements. You know, to say the suspects who entered the house demanded cell phones. There is a part of money, but here is not contained. But the part of cell phones and money is contained in the witnesses' statements. Although here it's only the make mention is only of cell phones. That's the first part.
Yebo lo mfakazi lobo buhambisana nalobufakazi sabo nikwa statementini salabo babekhona ngaphakathi ukuthi laba bangena behlasela bafike bafuna ama cell phone.
My lord, it also accords with the struggle, because if you read the statements in the dockets, just that there was a struggle between the person who was carrying a firearm and the deceased. So accused number 1 in this paragraph mentions that, my lord.
Futhi ke umsolo qale yachaza futhi kwakunokubambana phakathi kwalo wayephethe isibhamu nomufi.
Furthermore, my lord, in this paragraph, accused 1 mentions the running away of Kelly Kumalo. And I seem to recall, my lord, that when the first shot was discharged, according to the statements, the people who were there ran to different directions. So that accords with what was said, my lord.
Futhi ke uyasho lana ukuthi uKelly Kumalo wabaleka and statement ke salapho bengaphakathi ziyasho ukuthi kuyathi umakhala isibhamu babaleka.
Yes.
Specific reference is made to the fact that Kelly ran to the bedroom.
Yes, that's why I'm saying, my lord, I seem to recall that there is that reference from Miss Kelly Kumalo that they ran to different directions, including the bedrooms, my lord, when the first shot went off.
Ngiyakhumbula ukuthi kwakukhona yebo nokusho ukuthi ekuvela kuKelly Kumalo ukuthi babaleka ukuthi uKelly Kumalo wabaleka ebalekela ebedroom kusho statement ezabalabo bengaphakathi.
And there's also reference to the fact that the occupants were in the dining room.
That is correct, my lord, and that's consistent with the statements that were disposed by the people who were inside the house.
futhi ke ababe ngaphakathi endlini basho futhi nabo ukuthi babe se dining room nalana kulesi statement siyasho futhi ukuthi babe se dining room.
And also reference is made to the firing of 2 shots.
That is correct, my lord. That is in line with some of the statements, but it's also in line with the ballistic expert, who, according to the reports, they were able to refer to 2 firearms, 1 projectile that they worked on and 1 damaged projectile, spent bullet that was damaged after it was discharged.
Athi yebo lokho ukuthi kwadutshulwa kabili kuyahambisana nalokho kubhalwe i-statement salaba ngaphakathi endlini kodwa ke futhi kukhona nobufakazi obatholakala kulabo babehlola ke ochwepheshe ohlole i-ballistic ukuthi kukhona inhlamvu nenhlamvu eyonakele yatholakala.
And just lastly on this point, if we can just read paragraph 12 in the record.
Paragraph 12 reads as follows, my lord. In the early morning, I received a call from Marco and said he was going to go and collect the money from Kelly. At about 0900, I received the money from Marco, who told me that we have received the money that we have received for our job. He gave me 30,000 for my share. We agreed 3 of us to give Mkulu 5,000 for his assistance in this job. Mkulu helped us to rinse ourselves with other medicine to remove the bad luck. That's paragraph 12, my lord.
Ekseni ke ngathola ucingo oluvela kuMarco ethi ke uzoya ayolanda imali kuKheli. Ngesikhathi so9 o'clock wasekuseni ngathola imali evela kuMarco owangitshela ukuthi sikhokhelelwa umsebenzi esawenza. Wanginika isamba semali lingana na izinkulungwane ezama-30 ukuyingxenye eyayiyami kulomsebenzi. Sazwana ke sibathathu ukuthi sizonika umkhulu imali engango 5,000 inkulungwane eziyisihlanu ngokuthi ke asisize kulomsebenzi. Umkhulu wasisiza nangokuthi ke sigezwe emumva kwalomsebenzi ukuthi sisuse ibhadi.
Now, yesterday you referred to the evidence of Mr. Lionel Zwane. What is your comment regarding this last sentence? Mkulu help us to rinse ourselves with other medicine to remove the bad luck?
Yes, my lord. No, it is in line with what Mr. Lionel Zwane told me, my lord, and what is contained in this statement, my lord.
Yebo kuhambisana nalesi statement lesi engasithola umsola ukuthi umkhulu wasisiza impela ukuthi sigeze ukuthi sisuse ibhadi noma umkhokha.
Now, were all these facts that are mentioned here known to the investigating team?
No, they were not, my lord.
Konke lokho okushiwo la sasingakwazi thina siyithemba lo kuphela.
Just maybe lastly, paragraph 13.
Paragraph 13, my lord, reads as follows. We came back to the room where they dropped me and they left. Nobody came to us or police the story was quiet. I heard that somebody is arrested in this case, and I knew that it was the wrong person, and it took short time, and both of them were arrested for other crimes.
Sasisibuyela kuleli gumbi lapha la bangishiya khona base beyahamba. Akuzange kube namuntu ozayo kithina noma amaphoyisa. Kwakuthule nje. Ngezwe ukuthi kukhona umuntu oboshiwe ngaleli cala. And ngangazi ukuthi kusho ukuthi ababesho babophe umuntu ongeyena and futhi kwathatha isikhathi ukuthi bobabili baboshelwa amanye amacala.
Yeah, what is your comment regarding that?
My lord, it's in line with what happened. There was a gentleman by the surname of Mbata, if I recall, who was wrongfully arrested. He was subsequently then discharged. That is way back after this matter happened.
Yebo, lokho hambisana naloko kwenzeka ngoba emva kwalokho khona umunye owaboshwa okwakuthiwa uMbatha emva kwalesi sigameko wase kodwa ke waphinde wakhululwa.
And what is contained there, that nobody came to us or police, the story was quiet?
That is correct, my lord. We only approach him, insofar as I know, my lord, if you look at the docket, this docket 636, we were the first people to approach accused number 1. That is on the 30th of May 2020, my lord.
Kuliqiniso lokho ngoba akuzange kube namuntu owaya ukuya kumsolo oqala kwaba yithina kule docket lena u636 kuleli cala ka636 owaya eya kumsolo oqala ngomhla ka30 kuMay ka2020.
Yes, and I'm referring to the docket, my lord, 636 of 10/2014.
Ngikhuluma ngele docket ku636 of 10 of 2014.
Now, in the final analysis, Brigadier, what is your comment now on the version of accused number 1 that he was approached with this document, Exhibit FF, that was already written down, or with the information that is contained in this document already written down, and that he was merely asked to sign?
That assertion, my lord, will not be correct. The details contained in these documents could only be known to him. I'm talking about even personal details, the names that are mentioned, the crime scene. As I've indicated, my lord, Colonel Mboto was not privy to the investigation. He could not have known even the crime scene as to what happened.
Ukuthi ke lokho ukuthi ke okubhalwe kule confession noma kwamukela icala kwafika kuyena umsolo oqala sekubhaliwe ngeke kwazi ukuba iqiniso ngoba khona imininingwane eminingi amagama amaningi nokuchaza ke uyicala lonke leli okwaku esasingakwazi futhi ke uKenneth Mbotho wayengazi lutho ngaleli cala wayengeke akwazi konke lokho okusho ukuthi ke angeke kube iliqiniso ukuthi lokhu kweza sekubhaliwe.
Yes, my lord. So the details, the essence, the details contained in this document, my lord, were not known to us. Even myself, as the lead investigating officer, I didn't know some of these details, my lord, most of them.
Yebo, lemniningwane yonke khona lana sasingayazi futhi nami njengompheki ngangakwazi ningi engangakwazi lokubhaliwe.
I may also add, my lord, that to be honest, at some stage when I read this document, I had a suspicion that perhaps he was actually the shooter, contrary to what he was telling me. But through investigation and the collaboration, I realized that indeed he was telling the truth when he says he was standing outside, and that led us to accuse number 3, 4, 5, my lord.
Futhi ke uma ngiloku ngibhekisisa le document le docket ngafika kwesinye isikhathi ngaze ngacabanga ukuthi mhlambe ke kwakuyena owadubula nokuthi ke akulona iqiniso lela sitshela lona kodwa ke masiloku siqhubekela phambili ngagcina ngibonile ukuthi cha wenjela iqiniso lokhu kwasikolela ke nakumsolo wesithathu nowesine nowesihlanu.
Now, reference is also made to the payment of money. Yesterday, we went we referred partly to Exhibit S, the downloads of the cell phone that was found in possession of accused number 3.
Yes, my lord, we did.
Uthi yebo njengoba sikhulumile ke ngokukhokhela khona ke ama downloads esiwakhiphile kule phone lena kumakhalekhukhwini.
I just want to show you photos that form part of Exhibit S. Will show the images on the screen on Monday. Just identify those photos.
So, my lord, photo number 3 is a picture that contains a bundle of 100 rands notes, cash notes.
Sithombe sesithathu sikhombisa ke ama 100 rand amaningi.
And then photo number 4 contains 200 rands notes wrapped, but there's also, in my observation, 100 rand notes, my lord, and in the same picture, and on top is written Impande Yosono.
Lapha ke kulesi sinye isithombe kukhombisa u200 rand abagoqiwe futhi ke bonakala ukukhona no100 rand and kukhona kubhaliwe ngenhloko lapho kuthiwa impande yesono.
It is dated, my lord, the same picture, it is a JPG, but it's a date 2014/09/02.
Kuthiwa ke lana ke usuku olubonakala lapho umhla ka2 enyangeni kaSeptember 2014.
My lord, photo number 5 contains a see-through plastic bag which is full of 100 rand notes as well as 200 rand notes. It's full and wrapped on top. It's written Igugu Lomhlaba and is dated 2014/08/16.
Khona ke esinye ke isithombe lapho esinoplastiki obonakala ngaphakathi ukusho ukuthi ke uyakwazi ukubona ngaphakathi kulo plastic egcwele ke imali eningi o100 rand no200 rand futhi ke kukhona nalabhaka khona ukuthi lesi sithombe kuthiwa igugu lomhlaba.
Now photo number 6, my lord, on top is written Ngiofanini Ngikhohlwe. It contains 100 rand notes wrapped and bundled as well as 200 rand notes thrown on the floor. You can see that they're on the floor, the tiled floor. That's what is contained here, my lord.
Lesi sinye isithombe sesithupha sibhalwe ukuthi Ngiofanini Ngikhohlwe. Lesi sithombe ke sikhombisa imali eningi o100 rand abavele nje bachithwa baphansi.
Yes, we'll show them on Monday. Yes, yeah. In the course of your investigation, you referred to the money that contained in the plastic bag.
Yes, my lord.
Did it feature anywhere else in your investigation?
That is correct, my lord. I seem to recall that in the downloads of Ms. Kelly Kumalo, the same see-through plastic bags, similar to this, and in fact I think the position was found, but it was also found in the downloads of Mr. Longwe, Twala.
Ngikhumbulayo ukuthi ke uma sidownloada ke ifoni kaKelly Khumalo kwakukhona isithombe esinoplastic ocishe ufane nalo futhi isithombe esicishe sifane nalesi sasikhona kuma download efoni kaLongwe Twala.
Is there anything else that you wish to say regarding the confession of accused number 1?
No, my lord. I think I will rather prefer to be led by the state advocate, because if I comment out of my own, I don't want to raise unnecessary issues.
Thank you. Now, can we then briefly look, yesterday you referred to the pointing out of accused number 1
Yes, my lord.
and the same version regarding the pointings out was proffered on behalf of accused number 2 as indicated in the record of the 11th of October 2023, page 16, lines 5 to 7, 8 to 15. It says accused number 1 denies that he made a pointing out. He never made a statement.
Yes, my lord. I'm here. I've got a confession.
Now, if I can ask you to refer to exhibit GG,
Yes, my lord. I'm on it.
it's already on record that that is the pointing out in the name of Muzika Ukulela Stemba Sibia.
Correct, my lord.
Ngiyabona lapho ukuthi ilapho ke kwenziwa ikhomba muzika ukhulelwa Sithemba Sibiya.
Can you just once again just place the date?
So the date, my lord, is written 2020 054 time 1339. But I do know, my lord, that this date was wrong.
Yes.
It's actually the 5th,
Yes.
not the 4th.
Yes. Lieutenant
that's
Colonel
okay.
David did correct that.
Lapho ke kuvela isithombe kuvela i-date ethi umhla 4 ku May 2020 isikhathi 1339 kodwa kuyaziwa ukuthi cha kwangelona umhla 4 umhla 5.
And if you can just go to the statement itself.
Yes, my lord. Yeah, but perhaps before I even go there, my lord, just to confirm that indeed the date was written incorrect in front. If one looks at page, this is page 1, 2, 3, I think page 4, my lord, it's written 5 at the bottom.
Yes.
There, the written date, the colonel wrote it correct. It says 2020-0605.
Yes.
Lapho ke ku page 4 kuyabonakala ukuthi uKenneth wayebhala kahle ikheli wathi 2020-0605.
And then the last page also, my lord, that has the place Alberton, and then under date he also wrote the correct date 2020-0605.
Ukuthi uphinde wabhala ngaphansi Alberton ukuthi usuku kwakumhla 5 uJune 2020.
Correct, my lord. Yes, I am on the next one now, my lord.
Yes.
Should I read, my lord?
Yes, you can go ahead.
So on top, my lord, it reads, Muzika Ukulela Stemba Sibiya states that I am not sure about the month and day, but it was the year 2014.
Yes.
Lapha ke kuthiwa ke umuzika ukhulelwa Sithemba Sibiya uveza nakho ukuthi angisakhumbuli ukuthi usuku nenyanga kuyipi kodwa ke unyaka kwaku 2014.
It was on a Wednesday when I was called by Marco Buthelezi, who asked me where I was, and I told him at home where I stay, and he told me he was coming to see me.
Manje ke lana ukuthi ke ngangikwaku uLwesithathu la engathola khona ucingo oluvela kuMarco Buthelezi wangibuza ukuthi ngilaphi ngase ngisho ukuthi ngisekhaya and wasekisho ukuthi uzoza azongibona.
He came accompanied by his Makimba Buthelezi, and they were in a white Polo VW. I got inside the Polo and Marco told me that he had a job for us. I asked what job it was, and he told me that it was to kill someone I asked who that person was, and he said Senzo.
And where's ehamba noma Kimba Buthelezi and babehamba ngepolo emhlophe iVW ngangena ke lapha emotweni umakho esengitshela ukuthi banomsebenzi esingawenza ngabuza ke mina ukuthi inhlobo nemsebenzi wathi ke kimina umsebenzi okuyobulala umuntu othize ngase ngibuza ukuthi ubani loyo bulawa wasethi ke usenzo.
Now, these facts that are disclosed there, were they known to the investigating team?
No, my lord.
Athe konke ke lokho okulana thina silithemba elali lenza uphenyo sasingakwazi.
It must be also noted, my lord, that according to the docket at that time, it looked as if it was a robbery gone wrong, because that's all really that was contained in the docket.
Engakusho futhi ukuthi ke ngaleso sikhathi thina kwabonakala sengathi kwaba ubugebengu obongazange buhambe ngalendlela kwaku ukwacatshengela ukuthi kuzohamba ngayo ngoba thina sasingasilutho ngalo.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, you may proceed.
I said, fine, we can do it, and we decided to first go and see Nyanga bracket Sangoma to check whether the job will be successful. We went to the old man and he threw the bones and said it was good. The job can be done successful. We paid 50 rand for checking and left. I was dropped off at home and we agreed to meet on Saturday, the day of the job.
Ngase ngithe hayi kulungile singasho wenza lo msebenzi and saseke sithatha isinqumo sokuthi sizoya enyangeni lana kuthiwa isangoma ukuthi siyohlola ukuthi lo msebenzi lona uzophumelela yini sase siyake ekhehleni elafike lapha nsamathambo lalesitshela ukuthi ke cha kuhle umsebenzi ungenziwa futhi uphumelele sase sikholekhela ke leli khehla u50 rand ukuthi sihlole and ngase ke mina ke beyongishiya ekhaya and sase sizwana ukuthi sizohlangana ngomgqibelo okuwusuku lomsebenzi.
What is your comment regarding this information that has been placed on record?
My lord, it corroborates the Mr. Lion Zwane in terms of what he said happened.
Hayi lokho hambisana ke nalokho kwashiwa uLion Zwane owayechaza ukuthi kwenzekani.
And this is the witch traditional healer that was pointed by accused number 1. He was not known to us as well, my lord.
Futhi ke lona ke inyanga le eyaveswa umsolo wokuqala and futhi yethina sasingasilutho ngalenyanga.
Yes, and this is the proof, my lord, that this could have only came from him because it was not known to the state.
Futhi esiyesiqiniseko sokuthi lokhu kwaveswa uyena akuzange kuze ngomunye umuntu.
Yes, miss. On Saturday we met and went to a house I pointed out to Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe. Today 2020/06/05 in Phosphorus, and we stopped at the corner and looked and walked there.
Umgqibelo ke sasihlangana sase siya endlini le engikhombe uLieutenant Hadebe namhlanje ngomhla 5 kuJune 2020 ePhosphorus and safike sama ekhoneni sase sihamba ngeenyawo kuya kuyo.
Yesterday you commented regarding that place that was pointed out.
Absolutely, my lord, and this is where I was indicating that the photos that were taken, when I was doing the collaboration, they were taken into account in relation to this document, my lord. So this is a confirmation that he pointed the crime scene as per the notes that he gave Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe, my lord.
Lokho ke kuyisiqiniseko sokuthi ke yebo wahamba wayekhomba leyo ndlu ekhombisa Lieutenant Colonel Hade.
The next paragraph, I was asked whether I want to go in, and I said no. I will wait outside. Marco and Makimba went inside the house, and I heard about 3 gunshots, and they came out running. We all left and ran to the car.
Ngase ngiyabuzwa ukuthi ngiyafuna yini ukuthi ngihambe ngingene lapha endlini, ngase ngithi cha, ngimina ngifuna ukulinda ngaphandle. uMarco noMakimba bangena endlini, ngase ngizwa kukhala isibhamu kathathu, and futhi ke base beyaphuma bebaleka begijima. Thina ke sase sisihamba ke sonke siya emotweni.
My lord, I do seem to, so the collaboration is that I sued him, I do seem to recall that some of the witnesses referred to 3 gunshots, if my recollection serves me correctly. Although the ballistic expert found 2 physical evidence, but I seem to recall some statements referring to 3.
Mina ngathi ngiyakhumbula ukuthi ke ofakazi basho ukuthi isibhamu sakhala kathathu, nanoma ke labo ballistic bathi bathola ke inhlamvu ezimbili, kodwa ke ingikhumulayo ukuthi ngathi baveza ukuthi isibhamu sakhala kathathu.
What is also, my lord, common here is that he positioned, accused number 1 positioned himself outside the house, as he said in this confession that was made to Colonel Mboto.
Futhi ke umsolo uqala ke uyazibeka ngaphandle kwendlu kule confession noma ukwamukela icala akunika ku Colonel Mboto.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, and were these facts known to the investigating team as stated therein in the pointings out?
Absolutely not, my lord. As I've said over and over again, my lord, the report we had, the guidance that we had was really like it was a robbery that would have went wrong, and the 2 assailants at that time that we were focusing on was accused 1 and 2. And at that stage, it actually fit the narrative. It was looking like these are the suspects, we got them, and it ends there. We did not even know about the circumstances and the reason behind, and the other accused which came into the picture being 3, 4, and 5, as well as accused 2. We knew about accused 2, but not 3, 4, and 5.
Yebo, lo mbiko lona uyahambisana naloko esasicabanga ngaleso sikhathi, ngoba uyahambelana naloko kwenzeka, ngoba thina ngaleso sikhathi sesicabanga ukuthi kwaba abantu nje abebezama ukuyogebenga kuleyo ndlu, ababili esasicabangela ukuthi umsolo uqala nowesibili kuphela, ngoba kuningi esasingakwazi isimo nembangela nalabo abanye abathathu, kodwa sathola lokhu sekuvela kuyena umsolwa esela estatementini esokwamukela icala.
Yes, my lord. I was told in the car by Marco that they went in and found people inside and demanded money and cell phones. He told me Senzo confronted them and was fighting and resisting. He was then shot and everyone ran to the bedrooms.
Uthe ngatshelwa sisemotweni uMarco ukuthi bangena ngaphakathi bathola abantu bengaphakathi endlini, sithi abasinike omakhalekhukhwini nemali, wasitshela ukuthi uSenzo yena la ukubanika and wayelwa engavumi, and yena uSenzo kwayeseyadutshulwa, and laba abanye bonke abantu babalekele ema-bedroom.
My lord, in the docket, it is stated in the statement that there was a struggle between the deceased and the suspect that had a firearm.
Kudocket kuyachaza ukuthi kwakukhona ke ukubambana phakathi kukaMufi na lona ke umsolwa owayephethe isibhamu.
It is further stated, my lord, that when the 2 assailants came in, they demanded cell phone and money. So this collaboration, my lord, that was said by accused 1, corroborates what was contained in the docket.
phinde washo ukuthi uma bengena bafike bacela ama-cellphone nemali lokhu kuhambelana nalokhu okusho umsolwa wokuqala.
Yes.
Yes.
And furthermore, my lord, the last sentence where he says he was then shot and everyone ran to the bathrooms, my lord. It is contained in the statements, my lord, of the people who were inside the house that after the first shot was fired, they ran to different places. I know others would have ran to the bedrooms, etc. He now says this, my lord, and only a person who was involved will have this knowledge, except the police or the people who were at the crime scene.
futhi kuyavezwa estatementini zalabo abayengaphakathi ukuthi kwathi uma sekudutshulwa bonke babalekele ama-bedroom umuntu owayengaphakathi kuphela kuleyo ndlu wabona ukuthi kwenzekani owayengakwazi lokho. So kusho ukuthi-ke lokhu kuhambisana naloku kuvumelana nobufakazi ubaba labantu ababengaphakathi endlini nalokho kuvezwa umsolwa statementini sakhe sokuvuma icala.
I may also add, my lord, that Lieutenant Colonel Hadeb, who took this pointing out, was also never part of this investigation at any stage.
Futhi-ke no-Lieutenant Colonel lo oyenza le khomba wayengathintene nakancane nokuphenywa kwaleli cala.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The next paragraph, I pointed out the two places.
And we drove.
Oh, beg your pardon, my lord, just up. We drove back to my place at Suto Hostel, and I got out next to the highway, next to the high,
Mast.
mast, it's the mast, okay, mast electric light. They then left, and the firearm was with Marco.
Sase sihamba-ke sibuyela eBasotho Hostel la engaphuma eduze kwe-highway lapho-ke kunelambu likagesi. Baseke bengishiya lapho isibhamu-ke sasiphethwe uMark.
Yes. What is your comment?
My lord, okay, let me just understand this first. I can confirm, my lord, that according to the investigation, he was staying at the Basotho Hostel in Forsterus, so there's a collaboration in that regard.
Ngingasho ukuthi njengoba wayehlala eBasotho Hostel okwatholakala waqinisekisa ukuthi wayehlala eBasotho Hostel lokhu kuyahambelana nalobu bufakazi.
It is also confirmed, my lord, by Exhibit EE5.
Futhi-ke kukhona futhi ukukhombisa ukuthi kuyahambisana ne-exhibit EE5.
My lord, the place where he got off, this is the place I referred to also yesterday, my lord, that when I visited it's a road that goes up towards the police station. On the left-hand side, it's actually the hostel itself, my lord.
Ilo engishilo-ke izolo ukuthi lo mgwaqo lona oyekhuphukayo e-police station ilo mgwaqo oseduze kwe-hostel.
And specifically the Basotho Hostel, my lord.
And ngisho-ke ukuthi leli hostel engikhuluma ngalo yileli leBasotho Hostel.
And that is then corroborated, my lord, because the evidence that we have suggests that there was a meeting before at the hostel, and after the incident, they also went, the suspects, the accused, went to the hostel, my lord.
Lokhu kuyahambisana nokuthi ekuqaleni kwaba nomhlangano eBasotho Hostel nokuthi mase bebuya-ke babuyela kulona i-hostel ekuthiwa iBasotho Hostel.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Should I proceed?
Yes. You can proceed.
So, next paragraph, I pointed out the two places, the house where the shooting took place, and the spot where I was dropped off after the shooting to Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
Ngingakhombisa ku-Colonel Hadebe indlu la ukudubula kwenzeka kuyona nalapho-ke esama khona emva kokuthi kudutshulwe ngikhombisa-ke u-Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
My Lord, I dealt with this part with regard to the crime scene photos that are referred to, that place, because I visited it. It's actually the crime scene where the deceased was shot, number 13511 Kutlwano Street in Phosphorus. So that is the first spot. The second one is the one that I just referred to, the one next to Basuto Hostel.
Lokhu ehambisana nale ndawo lena engithi-ke ngahamba ngayihlola indawo la ubugebengu benzeka khona 13511 nalapho-ke kuthiwa-ke baphinde baya khona indawo yasebasutho hostel.
My Lord, here also there was a collaboration. We did not know where he was dropped off at that stage, my Lord. We did not even know the use of the vehicle, except to say there was this offense at that crime scene, my Lord. That's all that was known to the police.
Lokhu-ke okunye okukhombisa ukuhambelana kwalo bufakazi ngoba thina besingeke sasingazi nokuthi bafike bamehlisaphi. So yena kwaveza le mniningwane le ukuthi wehliswana.
And it was, of course, my Lord, later corroborated by other witnesses that we found, that confirmed that indeed this took place.
Yebo-ke futhi lokhu-ke kwaphinde kwaqinisekiswa abanye ofakazi sabathola ukuthi ngempela kwenzeka ngale ndlela.
Now, the last paragraph, can I proceed to the last paragraph?
Yes.
Okay. The last paragraph says, my Lord, I confirm that my rights were explained to me.
Yes, that's fine.
Is that fine?
It's
All right.
been dealt with. Now, in the final analysis, Brigadier, what is your comment to the version of accused number 1 that is not the source of what is contained in this?
That version, my
20
Lord, no, that version, my Lord, will be baseless in my view, because if you look at exhibit, the one made by Lieutenant Colonel Mboto and exhibit GG, there are similarities. These are contents that could have known, some of it would have been known only by the author of this document. And in this instance, my Lord, is accused number 1.
Futhi angivumi ukuthi-ke uma kuthiwa lokhu kwakubhalwe kule statement sokwamukela icala akulona iqiniso ngoba lokho okuveze lapha ku-Lieutenant Colonel Mboto nalokhu statement kufanana kakhulu ukukhombisa ukuthi kuvela kuyena umsolo wokuqala.
The court, please, my Lord, we are about to deal now with the two confessions of accused number 2. This is almost time for the long adjournment. We have agreed with my colleagues that we can adjourn until Monday, my Lord, and proceed on Monday.
Yes, I am, my Lord.
All right, then we shall adjourn until Monday, 10 o'clock.
All right.